So I want to talk about the difference between having a game plan when you're trading and having no game plan at all, and how it can affect your strategy and the things you do in both circumstances. And I want to relate this to a specific case in my own trading history in how I traded silver wheaton after it went into a bear market in 2008 and started to bottom out in late 2008. And you can see that silver wheaton, made a high in the mid 18s in 2008 and then crashed all the way to the mid $2 range in late 2008 during the financial crisis. And back then, when I was looking at this and decided to buy a position, I wasn't even using stage analysis as a strategy. I was essentially basing my buying decision on the fact that silver wheaton had been annihilated. Fundamentally, the company was still making money even at low silver prices, and essentially the market was pricing the stock like it was going to go out of business when, for a streaming company, more specifically, that's never really going to be the case. So I knew this was probably a good buying opportunity, but I really had no strategy as far as you know when to buy silver wheaton, or from a technical perspective, why I should get into or out of the trade. So essentially what happened to me is I decided to buy the stock. I think I bought it around like $3 a share, and then I got lucky to buy it pretty low. But eventually the bull market and silver wheaton reemerged, and um, I think I sold the stock somewhere around the $8 range. I think I got probably scared on this pullback from the mid tens all the way, eventually went down to the high sixes. But I remember selling the stock, like I said, I think it was around eight something, and I made, over two times my money on the stock. But what's crazy is the amount of money I left on the table. I don't think I ever really got back into silver wheaton much during this entire uptrend all the way up above 45. And looking back to where I entered the trade, I could have made. I mean, silver wheaton went up over 10 times from my initial entry point, so it could have been a monster trade that essentially I screwed up because I didn't have a strategy. I didn't really know what I was doing. So, you know, around this time is when I actually, learned stage analysis from Stan Weinstein's books, and I decided to start adopting that into my own trading strategy because, the 2008 financial crisis showed me that I always want to be aligned with the major trend in the markets, and I need to have a system in place to tell me, when markets are transitioning into bull and bear markets and what to do in each case. So, looking back, I let this monster trading opportunity slip by because I just didn't have a system in place. But, what I would do now, knowing stage analysis and actually employing it, I would, operate obviously much differently. I mean, if you look at what silver wheaton really did, I mean, it went into a stage 4 decline back then, started bottoming out and basing in late 2008, and then it continued to base and actually started rallying a little bit on an increase in volume. You can see down here, and it got back up to its 30-week moving average. And once it broke above that, you have the official transition into stage 2 for a bull market according to stage analysis, and then you have a nice retest of the stage 1 base back in late July 2009, and again you had a big increase in volume here, and then the stock continued to go higher into a stage 2. And knowing what I know now, I mean, I could conceivably, if I buy the breakout and I keep buying the pullbacks, adding to my position in stage 2 as it approaches the 30-week moving average, I know not to be scared here and to look at these opportunities as buying opportunities. And think about how, this is why I named my website Next Big Trade, is because this is a monster trading opportunity that presented itself over a 2-year period. And if you have a system in place, I mean, you can add to your position during pullbacks, and then have humongous gains over a couple year time period that can dwarf any gains that really a day trader can supposedly generate themselves. And that's what I kind of wanted to touch on a little bit is the difference between stage analysis and people like Fast Money. I tend to watch this show like more for entertainment and just to kind of laugh at what they talk about each night. But it's crazy how they just kind of like throw trades at you. Like if you look on their website here, like all it is talking about trades, 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 like 4 trades on fast food chains, the junk food trade, retail's rough ride, biotech trades, blah 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 blah. If you actually watch or listen to the show, they just throw trading opportunities continuously at you every night, and it's like an onslaught of craziness of what these people are doing in the markets day in and day out, and like how somehow you can make tons of money by gunslinging in the markets all the time and getting in and out of stuff and timing things perfectly. It seems just like just insane to me, and it's not the kind of trading that I want to do. I'd rather just buy into something early in a bull market and just add to my position over time and watch my money grow. And you can make humongous returns if you just can get into new bull markets early and essentially buy low and sell high. So that's what the stage analysis trading system is all about. And I encourage you to go onto my website or read Stan Weinstein's book, because if you're looking for a way to get into markets early after they've been sold out and buy low, and then have a strategy for holding your positions and adding to them and then selling high, I mean, stage analysis is a great system for doing that. So I encourage you to read my stage analysis page, and to you can always reach out to me too if you have questions or comments on the system itself. But um, this is the system I've adopted to use to try to trade bull and bear markets. And as I continue to learn and study market history, I want to continue to employ this system and refine it for my own trading purposes. And just to touch on what's funny about actually this, talking about some of Jesse Livermore's comments about excessive trading, but this was actually posted by somebody that has appeared on CNBC before. But Jesse Livermore discusses the pitfalls of excessive trading, and that's kind of what they do on CNBC, is they just trade in and out of stuff all the time like crazy. But Livermore says money is made by sitting, not trading. It takes time to make money. It was never my thinking that made the big money for me. It was always sitting. Nobody can catch all the fluctuations. The desire for constant action, irrespective of underlying conditions, is responsible for many losses in Wall Street, even among the professionals, who feel like they must take home some money every day as though they were working for regular wages. Buy right, sit tight. Men who can both be right and sit tight are uncommon. Don't give me timing, give me time. I mean, there's like tons and tons of quotes in Livermore's book about sitting in your trades, and that's how you make big money. You don't make big money jumping in and out of stuff all the time and being this madman gunslinger. Time positions properly, get into big trades, and you just sit there and add to your positions over time when those times arise. But otherwise, you just really just do nothing, and it's really hard for people to do that. I mean, it's really hard to hold stocks for a multi-year period and not, be tortured by the greed and the fear that is generated by big swings in price. I mean, when silver wheaton goes from 240 to 1045, imagine like the dollar signs in your head and the greed that's going on. But then when it pulls back to 678, the fear that's generated, oh, I just lost all these gains here, what do I do? So that's why having a system in place um, can kind of mitigate this emotion that can cause you to make mistakes and to get off the trend of something like this that can really change your life if you can capture a trade like this properly. So I hope this helps, and have a good night.